next to bat will be Austin Barnes. And he's got a chance to tie things up here as the equalizer sits just 90 feet away. A drive to left. Get out of here. Get out of here. Come on. They win it. Santa Maria.
To establish the running game early.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On the draw, this is Bartlett, and this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Cameron Hayward on.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jones. And Tate's got it. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing Jones. And this will be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Jones. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Devin Bush gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. After that sack, 3rd and long. Tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Operating from the gun. Jones looking for his receiver. Sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own 18-yard line.
Well, Steeler fans around the country certainly happy to see this sight at quarterback once again for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is old familiar number 7 jersey, Ben Roethlisberger.
He's been the starting quarterback for so long in Pittsburgh. It's hard to believe that last year only played a game and a half before going down with an elbow injury. But Big Ben is back under center, reassumed command of this team. Remember, in the offseason, he said he wouldn't trim his beard until he could throw a football to his teammates. Got that done, got a nice trim, and here he is, starting again for the Steelers.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
A gain of 27.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 41. And they run the option here on 1st and 10. Throwing right, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Receiver downfield. Offense.
That's not good enough, man.
Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
At the 27-yard line.
From the 27, Roethlisberger, and it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 14. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Roethlisberger will hand the counter. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown.
The ball carrier.
Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Steelers have taken a first quarter lead. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run, making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle, no running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that makes the score 7-0.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. On the return, Corey Ballantyne. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 26.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll get this out to Barkley complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Saquon Barkley powers through. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
There on the tackle. A gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 4.
From the gun, Jones. And that will be incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Running to start the drive is Samuels. A very tough run, but for a short gain out near the 32.
Ball carrier.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
On the counter, it's Connor. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
An eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
Everybody stay under control. Let's just make plays, man.
Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them.
Still 1st down.
Both sides. 180.
He'll keep it himself. Got an open man. It's Washington. And now look at him go. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Number 13,
James Washington, 66 yards. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm,
Chris Boswell.
relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The New York set to take the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
The 30-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On second down, here's Barkley. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
On third down, Barkley. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
First and 10 at the 41.
You're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
3 yards the gain there, second down. Charles, let's get a look at the draft class for this offense. Remember, no first-round picks this year. They traded it away. How much of a detriment is that?
Well, what they're hoping is the reason they traded away that first-round pick, that player won't be a detriment. He'll be an improvement for their team. And now as you get into the later rounds, in the middle rounds of this draft, that's when your scouting comes to the front. You have to hit on those selections.
A gain of 13. It's a first down. Operating from the gun, Jones finds his tight end Ingram. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
On the pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the Steelers' 35-yard line.
Now Jones. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Barkley. That's another.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. And Thomas seems to be in some pain. He's still on the ground. 2nd and 2, first down marker at the 5-yard line. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back on 2nd down now. Barkley. And maybe shades in the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
3rd and 3.
This is Barkley. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
That's how you get right up off of the mat because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not.
And this time he is in. Yes. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Giants able to get this back within a touchdown. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Ryan Switzer on the return. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Washington.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Brought down by Blake Martinez.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready and looked for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
He's taken down at the 33-yard line. A gain of a yard. First down, Steelers.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Steelers 14, Giants 7.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
An eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
All right, now, black 20.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. Third and long coming up.
And it's third down.
Now Ben on third and long. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a first down.
I was going to say on third down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just got to shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the first. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Giants' 38-yard line.
They run with Connor. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
He'll try and run forward with Connor. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. And just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
4 yards.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay.
And this is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
The Steelers were last in the NFL in red zone touchdown percentage a season ago, down around 35%. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Giants.
Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 21-7.
Here's Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback.
25-yard line.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. Now, the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space. And just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. Now Jones on 1st and 10. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, but it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Throwing again. Jones. It's brought in left side by Tate. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, Barkley. Barkley a first down and more. The 20, 10, touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Giants have got it back to a 1-score game. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it's capped. It's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley.
For the Giants.
That'll be taken about a yard deep, and he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Their own 25-yard line.
James Washington making his way back out towards the huddle. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his timing, because right now it feels like pitch and catch. Make sure he's not able to have clear sight lines to him, and maybe that'll slow him down.
Now, this is not the guy you want to let play pitch and catch. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. The Steelers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 5. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie, Xavier McKinney.
Xavier McKinney.
And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
2nd down and 10.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jones. That's complete left side to Shepard. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
Hayward on the tackle.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
2nd and
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton there to make the grab. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. There you go, Charles. His first touchdown pass of the new season.
And he had a strong rookie year. So much more expected of him this one, as you might imagine. He threw that one with confidence and assuredness.
And I noticed that the celebration a little bit more subdued than his first touchdown pass last year as a rookie.
Yeah, he certainly is acting like he's done it before.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. A drive there in just 4 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. This will make it into the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now, so you're not protecting a lead, so you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again, so maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
That goes for a gain of 31.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to Connor. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 15-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. If you're a fan of offensive football, this game has suited you well. Both offenses continuing to move the ball with relative ease.
Yeah, and if you're a fan of defensive football, you're not having so much fun watching this one. And these coordinators, they're going to be scrambling to figure out a way to counter so far. It may just come down to which one of these defenses can make one stop that could change the course of this game.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On the run is counter. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Hands to James.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And it's 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. This will be caught at about the 6. And the Steelers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. The Steelers were last in the NFL in red zone touchdown percentage a season ago, down around 35%. It's 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown.
To number 19.
Juju Smith-Schuster there to make the grab. And the Steelers have taken the lead. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far and fun to watch. And the formula there on the 2-point try to go 5 wide, not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And Valentine going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback.
25-yard line.
Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. And Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily when you set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Darius Slayton already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Giants are a 2-point conversion away from tying this football game. We didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation. Knowing when it exists to go to it, they did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
Heading back out there, Jalen Samuels. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster the target once again, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 10.
Roethlisberger. Back to Smith-Schuster, this time complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
He was covered by Xavier McKinney.
Here's Connor. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40. You said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season,
this is caught inside the 15. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
8-yard gain. And the Steeler.
Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Connor. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down, it's Connor. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
And it's 3rd.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
A loss of a yard. Brings up
Aaron Donald's the name most people think about at the defensive tackle position, but an all-pro last year alongside him, Cameron Hayward, an absolute nightmare to try and block. And he gets into the backfield on that play and finishes it off with a loss.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. On 3rd down, Barkley. And he is not going anywhere. He will not even get back to the line of scrimmage as the clock will stop at the 2-minute warning.
A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. Switzer on the return. Nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. And he's been pretty good under the lights here tonight, hasn't he, partner?
He certainly has, and I applaud him for that because I don't know what it's like for you.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 19 yards that time for number 19. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So that now back-to-back drive CD that have ended with an interception.
Now, I don't know about you, but I'd call my quarterback over, put an arm around him, and say, hey, take a look at the scoreboard. We're playing with a lead. Let's be smarter about what we're doing out there.
It's big Vince Williams who made the tackle.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Here's Jones from the gun on third down. Throw left side complete. It's Tate. A gain of 4 that time as the drive will continue. Looking to throw. Jones. Smith catches left side. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Throwing again on second down. Jones gets this out to Saquon Barkley. Jones, no gain there, and it's going to bring up a third down. Jones signaling, let's go, trying to get his guys up to the line. It's caught, Shepard. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. First and 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. So we reach halftime here at our first Monday Nighter of the season. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was the Falcons who were able to pick up the victory at home. Matt Ryan with 3 touchdown passes in the Week 1 victory. From there, let's head up to Cincinnati to check in on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium.
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Connor. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
A good carry and a first down by James Conner, and this Pittsburgh team is really hoping he's back in form because last year the entire Pittsburgh offense suffered without Ben Roethlisberger at quarterback. James Conner only 715 combined yards, but in 2018, he was a Pro Bowl running back. Combined yardage that year, 1,470. They're hoping for 2018 James Conner in 2020.
On second down, here's the option. Washington with a catch, middle of the field. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 39. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. First down. That time on the run-pass option when he decided to throw it. Not a quick little drop-off. He went downfield a bit.
Reminiscent of a triple option quarterback in college because he faked it inside, and instead of immediately throwing it out to the perimeter, stepped back in the pocket to find a target downfield.
Big Leonard Williams there on the stop. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
At the 39-yard line.
Now it's Connor. And he's going to get this pretty close to the first down marker at the Giants' 30. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
8 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Julian Love picks it, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, Jones. That's complete to Slayton. The 30. 10. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Darius Slayton with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Giants are going to jump back in front. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
We remind you, still one more game to get to before we put a bow on Week 1. It comes up at the conclusion this one. Titans and Broncos in the AFC from Mile High, and that ought to be one worth staying up for. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Game brings up 2nd and 9.
Here's Roethlisberger. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Washington. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
1st down, Pittsburgh.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage. Got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
1st down.
There's a catch by Juju Smith-Schuster, and he's hoping there's plenty more of that coming. 2019, not the year he expected. Lost his quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, early. Dealt with a knee injury and missed 4 games, and his stats really fell. Just 552 yards through the air. But in 2018, what a big year he had then with Big Ben. 1,426 yards. He's hoping that the return of form of Roethlisberger leads to the return of form of himself.
Roethlisberger's back.
Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
It's 3rd down.
Connor. And he picks up the 1st as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
He's tackled at the 7.
6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown.
The ball carrier.
James Conner, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Well, 2 touchdowns scored. I know his team's happy. His coaches are happy. How about the fantasy owners of this game?
Always happy with 2, but they'd like 3 or 4. And he's got it. And he will not get there as the try for 2 is unsuccessful. And they will remain down by a point.
I know the natural instinct is to kick the extra point there and tie the game. But here in this spot, at this point of the game, is there another coach maybe weighing in with what to do here?
Well, I think that analytics are starting to say, with it being from the 2, that you're going for 2 more often. That makes sense. But there, I still like going for 1, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I mean, that's my first instinct, but I'm understanding how the game is starting to change, and we're getting a number of these quarterbacks who are telling their coaches, we should go for 2 all the time. I want to see if we ever get a team that actually starts to do that.
There on the tackle, Minkah Fitzpatrick. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
It's a
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Operating from the gun, Jones. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Switzer. 35 yards that time on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there's going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Shotgun handoff to Samuels. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Roethlisberger going to get that to Ebron. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run here with Conner. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. This is Conner. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Again, the ball carrier.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Roethlisberger will hand to Conner. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
They'll try and throw for him with Roethlisberger. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
Vance McDonald.
Vance McDonald there to make the grab. And the Steelers have once again taken the lead.
Will line up.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. They took a pretty big risk right there going for it on 4th down, but hey, not only did they get the first down, forget about that, they got in the end zone.
Yeah, because normally you're just thinking, can I get enough yardage to get it past the sticks and pick up a first down? Instead, they go for the end zone and get it done with no margin for error. Remember, 4th down, they went for it.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And Valentine going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in how their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. 38-yard line, 2nd and 11. They'll run it again with Barkley. And maybe shades in the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Jones now on 3rd down. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 36. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Right back to Conner here on 1st. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Giants are going to get the football back. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and 12, Jones. Catch made by Slayton. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
In Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing again. Jones. He's going to float it. It's caught inside the 25. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Darius Slayton, 62 yards. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
Yes, it was a touchdown, and not just a TD, but how about a long touchdown that puts them in a great position now.
And now just an extra point away from tying this thing. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. He'll have a first down past the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
On first down, it's Samuels. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the broken tackle. Grant Haley in on the stop.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. But now it's third down.
Yards to go.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete.
Pass intended for Eric Ebron.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Tie game, fourth quarter, and they're going for this thing on fourth down. The Steelers will go. It's Roethlisberger. Ebron caught left side. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on fourth. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Johnson was the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down.
It's second down and 10.
Ben leaves to counter on the draw. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Intended for Deontay Johnson. Incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on fourth down and 9. They're going on fourth down. It's Roethlisberger. This is Johnson. He's got it. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the fourth down play to result in 23 yards. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. On first and 10 is counter. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain.
Roethlisberger's pass complete to Deontay Johnson.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. Now it's Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete.
Intended.
Coverage is awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
Boswell on for the field goal. A 34-yard attempt.
And Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead.
46.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And Valentine going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ballgame. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. From the gun, Jones. He's going to float it, and this will be caught at the 30. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Darius Slayton, 65 yards. And the G-men have taken the lead here in the fourth. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Take over first and 10. At their own 26.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 29. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people... hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
Barkley, the ball.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up second and 5.
Operating from the gun. Jones looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
They've stopped him in his tracks. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. I mean, we could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Complete to James Washington. 4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6 at the 21-yard line.
From the gun, it's Hodges. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
And a
good catch there by Eric Ebron, and the Steelers are hoping that they see the 2018 version of this young man. 66 catch, 750 yards, and 13 touchdowns. And that was good enough for second in the league with the Indianapolis Colts. The Steelers like to throw to the tight end. They hope Ebron is the guy.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Throwing yet again. Here's Hodges. He's going to launch it for Washington. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. 16 yards, a first down.
First down, Steelers.
On the jet sweep, this is Johnson. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with his 4-point fourth-quarter lead.
It's now second and 6.
On second down, here's Hodges. His throw caught right around the 6. And the Steelers are going to be set up with a first and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener. And it's a first down. They'll look to run with Conner. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Conner with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter.
On for the point out.
He's got the hat trick now of rushing touchdowns. Also has his team the advantage.
And I'm looking at it 2 ways here. If I'm on defense, I don't care what they do now. I commit as many people as it takes to slowing him down running the football. Even if they want to hit me over the top on play action, I just don't let him beat me that way anymore. And if I'm him, I'm in the huddle calling the plays myself. I don't care what play call comes in. I tell my quarterback, guess what? You're handing it to me again.
And if I'm the quarterback, I'm saying, okay, that sounds good, right?
Smart quarterback.
The Giants take over first and 10. At their own 20.
Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Now left side on the swing pass. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 23 yards the pickup there. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. Jones on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. Darius Slayton, 30 yards. And the G-men have taken the lead here in the fourth. Rosas to add the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go up and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Here's second and 10 now from about the 32. To throw again. Hodges. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And out across midfield, down to the 45. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
A gain of 21.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Pittsburgh.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Juju Smith.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
At the 9-yard line.
They'll run here with Connor. And the Steelers are going to be set up with a first and goal as good running gets them down to about the 4-yard line. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. Second and goal from inside the 5. Again, it'll be Connor. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all.
Taken down.
No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on third and goal. A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's third and goal. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost them.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. And if he does that, this thing is over.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Cameron Wake and his Giants defense able to come up with a goal line stand. From down at the 12, it's first and 10. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. Fourth and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up second and 10. Again, it's Barkley. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
It's third down and 13.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to fourth down.
4-yard gain. It's fourth down.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we